Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for July 10th. July 10th is the 191st day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 192nd in leap years, with 174 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is thwart. Thwart is a verb that means to oppose successfully, to defeat the hopes or aspiration of, to run counter so as to effectively oppose or baffle. In other words, thwart means to effectively oppose or prevent. For example, to thwart a person is to prevent them from doing something, and to thwart a thing is to stop it from happening. The word thwart comes to us from Middle English, probably from Old Norse before that. First known use of the word thwart is in the 1200s, thwart. And remember, if you have a word you'd like me to explore in the Word of the Day section, pop it in the comments. If I can find a definition for it, we'll talk about it. And with that, Emperor Hadrian died on July 10th in the year 138 of heart failure. He was buried in Rome in the tomb of Hadrian next to his late wife, Vibia Sabina. Hadrian was 62 at the time of his passing. The city of Dublin, Ireland is considered to have been founded on July 10th in the year 988. The area had actually been occupied since before the Roman invasion of Britain, and it appeared in Ptolemy's Guide to Geography in the year 140. The first verifiable settlement came with the Vikings in about 831. They called it Difflin, after what the Irish called it, which was Dublin, which means dark pool or black pool, after a dark tidal pool nearby. The reason it's considered to be founded in 988 instead of 831 or even earlier is because that's the year that King Mael Seshnal MacDomnail, my pronunciation of ancient Irish is not that great, reclaimed the city for Ireland and started collecting taxes. Millard Fillmore was sworn in as the 13th U.S. president on July 10, 1850, the day after becoming president when Zachary Taylor died, as I believe we may have discussed yesterday. This is the birthday of Serbian-American physicist and engineer Nikola Tesla, born July 10, 1856. He's best known and widely admired for his work with alternating current. He also loved to feed and care for pigeons. Late one night, he took out for a walk, as he did probably every day by that point, and was hit by a cab and thrown to the ground while crossing the street. He had probably a lifelong habit of not going to the doctor, and that's what he did this time, not go to the doctor. Pretty sure he suffered some broken ribs and a wrenched back from that accident. He was 81 when it happened, and he suffered from it for the rest of his life. That happened in the fall of 1937, and a little over 5 years later, in January of 1943, Nikola Tesla died alone in his room, most likely of a heart attack. He was 86 at the time of his passing. Wyoming was admitted as the 44th U.S. state on July 10, 1890. On July 10, 1925, the Scopes monkey trial began. There was a high school science teacher who decided to teach evolution, which was actually against the law at the time, so they had a trial about it. On July 10, 1962, a U.S. patent was issued for a 3-point seat belt. Telstar, the world's first communication satellite, was launched into orbit on July 10, 1962. The Bahamas gained full independence within the Commonwealth of Nations on July 10, 1973. Today's song is Don't You Want Me by the Human League, number 1 on July 10, 1982. The song was released in November of 1981, so it took a little longer to hit the number 1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100 than some of the other songs we've talked about so far. But it was the biggest selling UK single of 1981 and was Human League's most commercially successful song. Interestingly, Don't You Want Me almost didn't make it as a single. The group had already had 3 singles released in 1981, and lead singer Philip Oakey felt that the public were sick of hearing from the band. And he didn't like the way the song had been produced. He felt it was a little too poppy and that it would wreck the group's newfound popularity. The record company prevailed, though, and the song was released as a single. It shot to the top of the UK charts. I imagine the music video helped further its popularity, especially in the US, where MTV was a new thing. Don't You Want Me by Human League, number 1, July 10th, 1982. Link in the description. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That description lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page that is called No Really. And you can also find me on Rumble and BitChute. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Microphone over there. Hello. Okay. With 202 days remaining to the end of the world. End of the year. Please, not the end of the world. 202 days remaining to the end of the year. Let's read that one again. Yep, it is. That's what it's called. All right. Third time better be a charm. There's no "the" there. One more time. Attracting. Just read the whole thing over. Are you making some sound? Get on out of here. Yeah, we're gonna edit that out. Don't alienate people who can be helpful to you. Flinging happiness all over the place. Alrighty, back to work. I think we got it this time.